Hello, everybody. Phil Hemphill, P. Randolph Financial Group, here on this wonderful, wonderful day. What you'll notice is a continual theme. I believe every day is wonderful. Now, I'm human. I've had some jacked up days. I've had some days where I've had surgeries on different parts of my body, wrist, knee. Usually got over those issues pretty quick because I took fault from them. Whenever I got hurt, something happened, I believe that somehow it was my fault and that certain things were done to change it, and I focus on that, I'll feel better. But that's not today's conversation. Today's conversation is about what is your source of power? What is your source of power? What is your plug? What is that? Now, some people know many definitions of the term the plug, but mainly it just means a source of something. The plug for something, plug for your money, plug for X, Y, Z, whatever it is. What I'm trying to view today is how do you maintain energy? How do you maintain energy? Maintain that plug, maintain that source. Well, we all know in some circles, the plug means you got money, you're receiving a product or maybe a service. What I'm looking at is how do you move forward and be positive in what you're going to do. Some people like to date. As an example, if you're single or just in a relationship and you're still open, you're dating, and it's that fresh feeling, that fresh energy, that fresh move. When you first get married, it's that fresh thing, that first job. These are all interviews. We love to interview something new. We love to interview something new. Now, when we become established in our lives, we do have an understanding that things that are consistent are good, but they don't give us the excitement like they used to. And I'm bringing that up because when you think about our lives, what excites you? What excites you? Now, if the only thing that excites you is seeing the plug, that plug, you need to think about it for a second. What am I missing? Because we should be able to be empowered with every time we wake up, every time we get up and get moving, we should be interviewing for today's life. So we are interviewing for our life today. And how we do that interview will determine how happy or not happy that day is going to be. Just like when you interview to get with somebody, you go over to them or they come over to you and you'll get to talking. And first, you got that visual attraction. Let's be real. Nobody says, "Oh, I saw him across the room and I knew he or she was smart." Get out of here. You saw that person and you saw something about them that you were attracted to. It could have been their look, it could have been their a wardrobe, it could have been how they carried themselves across the room. But it was something visual. It wasn't something, from the communication. Then the interview truly begins. You sit down, they let you sit down with them, and you get to talking. And during that conversation, you determine real quick what your thoughts are towards that other person. What are their mannerisms? How do they treat the people around you? Maybe you're with a crew of people. Are they respectful and communicating with them, especially with women? When that significant other rolls up, they got to talk to everybody in the group. That's what makes it hard to talk to a woman than it is to talk to a guy. Because with us, we usually come to you and we usually separate from the pack, or the pack is talking to other people in the group. With you, it's usually a crowd, and they're trying to protect you and they're trying to keep you. A whole other conversation for a different day. But the point is, you sit down and you're in an interview. So we're talking, we're going over things. And during that interview, you determine you'll trade numbers, you'll trade Instagram, you'll trade your whatever your codes are, you trade something. And you get to talking. No day is more exciting than that day and the first date. Now, if you end up getting married, yes, that too. But till then, it's that day and the first date. Where do people mess up? Because they lose the excitement. They stop trying to be that other person's plug, irregardless of what they get themselves. They try to be the other person's source of passion, regardless of what they get themselves. Now, if that happens too long and the other person doesn't reciprocate, again, it's the issue. But that's part one. Part two is at the office. When you were interviewing, you were the most awesome person that they ever met. Well, take that back. You were the best one that they selected for some reason in that group of people. That you may not have been the most awesome person. I've had interviews, and I know I wasn't the most awesome person. There's other people that work there, but the same token, based on positions in life, maybe I was. But the key is, you go to the interview, you got your best clothes on, hair's cut right, makeup on if you wear makeup, everything is perfect. You get the job. Now, is your makeup perfect? Were you early? Were you on time? Are you dressing up anymore? Or are you putting on stuff that almost is a dress code stretch? How do you talk to your bosses? That person that interviewed you, are you giving them the respect and the candor you did when you first met them? Or are you like, whatever, I got the job now? Well, they're your plug. They're paying you money to be there. Reverse your mind. Wusa. If you were paying you for that performance that day, or those weeks, or those months, would you continue to pay you that money? Say it again. If you were paying you, would you continue to pay that money? Now, there's a certain group of people that are saying, yeah, I do a darn good job, and I work hard, and I'm awesome. No, for that group, for part of that group, they're right. They would pay themselves a good job. But there's another group that you're lying. You're being facetious, or whatever term you want. You wouldn't pay you for that activity. You would fire yourself on the first thing smoking. That's why when people get promoted, people say they change and they're more cutthroat. Well, because they see things from a different lens now. I remember I was at a job once, and a good guy, I was pretty much told to fire that person. And I didn't want to do that. And I've had that conversation a few times in my career where someone told me, if I don't do something about this person, I'm gonna lose my job. So what did I do? I did the best thing I could do. I sat down with the person, was real with them, and said, these are the reasons why the institution, because it wasn't me, the institution, now I have gotten rid of people that wasn't the institution, but that's because of performance. But these people I'm thinking of, these are the reasons why the institution wants to get rid of you. And what I will do for you is either help you get another position in the institution I think will fit you better before your work history will stop you, or I'll help you go somewhere else and give you a recommendation again before your work history will stop you. And people took the opportunity. One person, we're great friends now, he somehow forgot what I told him, where it really came from, and now we're real cool because we really had the heart to heart. But those were interviews. I interviewed with those people that had great performance and interviewed them to do something different. And now, I've had some of my best times with the gentleman I'm thinking about because I followed through. And now every time we communicate, it's an interview. When you have friends and you have family, how do you treat them? Do you treat them like it's Thanksgiving? Or do you treat them like it's Halloween and they're the ones you're going to be tricking, not treating? We have to find a way to keep our energy. We have to find a way to be that plug, to receive that source. And the best way to put it for everyone that's listening is you have to think of every moment like it's your last and like it's an interview. Now, I know when some people say to me, well, treat it like it's your last. I'm getting off work early. Yeah, you get my point. It's just making sure that you bring the energy, you find a way to think back in your mind to where you loved this place. You think back to what this place or this person or this thing does for you. My spouse, without these 10 things, and you keep thinking until you find them, where would I be without that? What am I doing to give energy when I go to work? What would I be without this job? Because that's the crazy thing about work and about occupation or about careers or about businesses. If you don't want to be there, you don't have to be there, and you shouldn't be there. Find somewhere else to go that will be that plug and give you that energy that you deserve. and they deserve. But first, you. We're all selfish. We're all selfish to some degree. So make sure you give yourself the energy you deserve by moving somewhere else. You can go through the interview process, start, and keep doing it. There's a research that I read years ago that says in today's society, you should switch jobs every 2 to 3 years. Not 10, not 15, not 20, like they used to say back in the day where we had pensions and all that stuff, but 2 to 3 years. And the reason why is the new hire department has more resources to pay you a fair scale or pay you 10 to 20% higher than what you were making before, depending on what job you go to, than your current employee positions of 1 to 3%. What? I'd rather lose you than keep you on the job. It's about relationships. It is much harder to find a new boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever it is. It's harder to do that than it is to keep what you got. But why do people go for something new? Because it's exciting. You have to find a way to not be the employer. Now let's go back to the employer, because I know some of you are saying you can get 1 to 3, maybe 4%, but you get 20%. Why is that? Why do companies function like that? Why are they so cold? Here's one of the secrets. There's hundreds of them, but here's one of the secrets. If you have 100 employees, you're probably going to lose 5 to 10 a year, and you're going to have to replace them. Which ones? Now, the ones that do a bad job, you know who they are. But the other 90, you don't know which one of them is going to be the one that's going to leave the company. So if you paid them all 8%, you still lose a couple, but you paid all of them 8%. That's a nice thing to do, but that's bad business. The good business is you retain the few you really believe in retaining. And when you bring on somebody new, you make sure they're to scale so you don't lose them for 2 to 5 years. So it's all a numbers game. It's all business. And that's why I said in other messages, and you've probably heard this, if you want more, you have to ask for more. If you want more from your company, you have to make the request. If they refuse to give it to you and you believe you're worth it, you need to go somewhere that will give it to you. If you don't get it and you believe you need more skills, you need to find them. If you're with someone, don't dance around and be secretive and try to hint and make somebody read your mind. Tell them what you want. Tell them what you're looking for. Try to do it early and often, and try to have this, as wise people say, your non-negotiables of, these are things I won't put up with, these are things I will, but this is what I want. And if they're not willing to give it to you, you have to determine if you want to waste valuable years of your life in that, because if they say no, you have to believe you can't change them. Too many self-help books, too many magazines say, you can do these steps to change your spouse. You can do these steps to change your wife. You can do these. They have to want to change. If they don't want to change or don't want to do it, or don't believe you're worth it. There's another, sorry. You may not be worth it to that person. You may date 10 people and one person thinks you're so awesome to do anything for you, but the other 9 are like, ew. That's what it is. So again, find the energy, be the plug, receive the source by finding ways to be fresh and excited and to be interviewing every day, every hour. You are interviewing for the best thing on the planet, which is for your happy life. Thank you for listening. I try to keep them quick. Please like and subscribe. And please put comments out there. I'd really love to hear from you. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.